Is Abel better than a 10-year-old poll question? Whatever I forgot.
Obey NWO. Welcome everyone to the Nerd World Order podcast. This is Abel Lozen. Joining me as always are my co-host and co-conspirator CJ.
Hello.
Barker.
What's up?
And our nerd eye in the sky, Whitney.
Bitch.
This is Abel. I was there. The NWO is where we're trying to take over the world by spreading the weekly pop culture news from across different genres, which include movies, comics, TV shows, or anything that we consider nerd. The Nerd World Order podcast, your greatest entertainment since 2017. All right, guys, this is show 120. Can you believe that? That's a lot of shows. What's everybody up to today?
I'm really sore because I fell off a ladder in the dumbest fucking way possible. I got up on a ladder and I was like watching a gauge, and I simply forgot that I was on like the third step up. Like I just forgot and went to back off, get off the ladder, and step down. No ground to step on. Totally just biffed it. Oh my god, felt really dumb. Yeah, and I wasn't even up there for like a long time. Like it was like a minute, and I just forgot that I climbed up the ladder. Yeah, it was really bad.
That sounds fun.
No, it sucked. Felt like a dumbass. No one saw, luckily, thankfully. Hope I know OSHA listens to the
That's
show,
what those
though.
5 million hours are doing to us,
OSHA listens to this show. I'm gonna get a fine, probably.
Why?
No. Our biggest fan, OSHA, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're our sponsor. Speaking of OSHA, somebody's at work still, huh, Barker?
Yeah. For the time being, you guys are alcohol distributors, so if anybody walks in, just yell Fireball and like the number 36 like 8 times.
Fireball 36.
I want to be Blue Moon.
Okay.
Is that your code name?
Yeah, it is now. Thank you, Abel.
Yeah.
I can get you a good deal on some Bud Light cake.
There you go. So yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, you talk about alcohol, we'll just go over here. So I'm like, okay, sounds great to me.
All right. If you start talking in code, I'll get it. I know you're talking, or somebody walked in. Because technically, I'm still working too. I got my work computer, my laptop open, and I'm going back and forth. So.
Wow, am I the only not horrible liar? Yes.
Yeah. You're the only non-horrible liar.
Wow, that's
all right.
A shame. For shame.
I know this. Whitney says he's not lying.
Hey, for the record, at least they're paying me to do this show, Abel. All I'm saying.
They're paying me to do this show too.
I gotta say, I feel like Whitney's lying. I don't know why. It feels like he's lying. Like
he just looks like a liar.
Yeah.
Ripped it bastard.
I feel like
he's lying to something. What? Did you say underwear?
Yeah, I said underwear. No, is anybody drinking any booze?
Yeah.
No, I have to go to work in like an hour.
What are you drinking?
Water.
Oh, bitch.
No.
Whitney's drinking a screwdriver just for the show. Nice. All right,
what's a screwdriver?
Vodka and orange juice.
Wow, that sucks.
I did not know that.
Good.
That's a great. I should know that. That's terrible.
It's a great drink.
I just always called it vodka orange juice. I don't know. I don't know.
Screwdriver sounds so much better.
Just lowering the bar for us, CJ.
Well, you pick it back up for us, don't you? You got it.
All right, we had poll questions, but I completely forgot to post them, so I'm skipping right over that. Let's see. All right, Andres couldn't make it because I think he had to work. Huh?
Did you forget, or did we have like does Abel suck giant wieners or something?
No, it was between me and the 10-year-old who would win, and the 10-year-old had a katana.
So you forgot.
All right, I'll post it this week.
Okay.
I really want to see the answer to it.
Okay, I'll post it this week.
Is Abel better than a 10-year-old poll question? Whatever I forgot.
I can't hear Barker.
Samurai sword.
That's fucking funny. And we didn't hear a single thing you said except for Samurai Sword.
That was pretty awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Do that
Show.
the entire
Yeah.
show, please. Just mumble nothings for it, and then be like, 4-leaf clover, just randomly. Please do that the entire show.
We can't hear it, and then it's like, and then he tasted like peppermint. But because Andres isn't here, but before we started the show, he did send me a very important email regarding the hottest anime news in this week's The Andres Loza Memorial Anime Minute. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba latest chapter officially brought the series to its climax, which means that the final chapter of the series will be arriving next week. As the series comes to an end, it was to wrap up several of its plot threads and character beats in order to bring in everything to a satisfying conclusion. The final battle, Muzan Gibutsuji, was the focus of the final chunk of chapters leading to this point, for a good reason. With Muzan defeated, the threat of the demon is gone overall, which means this world can officially begin to heal. So there you go.
Wow.
Did you say Mulan Mega Sushi?
No, nothing about sushi. I don't know if that's racist or not.
Probably.
Sound like it. Now I'm hungry. Yeah.
I want some sushi. Dude, I've had the same, 3 things for lunch since this shit started, and I want some goddamn sushi.
That's how you get gains. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have enough to lose. I think I've easily hit the 15, my quarantine 15 for sure.
No, that's how you eating the same 3 things is how you get gains with a Z. That's what you're supposed to do. Like chicken breast. That's all I've been eating actually. Like chicken.
No, I know. I usually Jasmine usually meal preps for me when I'm working out and stuff. But when I mean the same 3 things, I mean like McChickens, pasta, and trail mix and shit like that. Like it's not healthy.
Like all the things you're totally not supposed to eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Abel.
Yeah. Whitney says I need to watch Demon Slayer. I've heard nothing but good things. I had sandwiches from Preston Snack Shack today. I don't know what's Preston Snack Shack. Is that like a food truck?
It's the place right next to Wham Snow Cones.
Where?
Yeah, I get it.
You know the snow cone shop next to Deanne Wiley?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
You mean Dean Wiley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in like they share the same little hut?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's impressive actually. That thing's tiny.
That's what she said.
Nice. I started watching an anime actually.
What'd you start watching?
An anime called Shiki, Shiki.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to be one of the scariest animes of all time, which is why I'm watching it, and we'll see.
Keep us updated on that.
I will do that.
New sandwich shop, former chef of the brewery. Okay, we're gonna jump into the. We have quite a bit of news, but we'll blaze through it because Barker has shit to do and CJ has. What time do you have to be at work, CJ?
6 o'clock.
Oh,
I leave for work. I'm good.
Oh, well, you'll be fine. This will be a super long show. Which is funny because I thought that when we went into quarantine that these were going to be like, man, we're going to be fucking starving for content. These have been the longest shows I've had to fucking edit because we all just fucking talk.
Good. What else are you doing?
That's
You
true.
don't have anything better to do? Just edit the show.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do.
You don't have anything to do.
I gotta put this house together. Whenever this is over and you guys can come check out the room, it looks dope as fuck, man. It's exciting.
You made it look really cool on Snapchat.
It's fire, dude. I'm gonna get some LED lights to finish up my Star Wars stuff back here, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Cool.
All right, yeah, but there is some news actually
And
this
microphones.
week. And microphones.
Can we call the room the Virgin Palace?
It has to. You have to be not illiterate. What is it when you start words with the same letter?
Alliteration.
It has to be with illiterate.
Oh,
Yeah.
illiterate?
So the Virgin.
I'll give me a minute. I'll do it.
Okay, you think about it. This weekend. All right, so the first piece of news this week is there was actually a bunch of rumors about New Mutants. First, that it was going to video on demand, and then that it's not, and then that it is, and then it's not. Well, officially, it's not. It's still going to be released to movie theaters. Amazon actually fucked up because they never removed it from their archives. So around this time is when it was supposed to come out on video on demand after it hit the movie theaters, because this was around the time that you were able to buy it for pre-order to get it digitally. But it's not. It's actually in the contract when Disney bought Fox and all the Fox properties that New Mutants had to be in the movie theater. So my question for you guys then is, do you prefer it that we're going to have to wait longer for New Mutants, or would you have just wanted to get out of the way and watch it on video on demand?
Dustin, go. I'm looking for
I'd rather watch it on demand.
You would rather watch it on demand? Why is that?
I feel like if you do it on demand, I think you're gonna lose less money if it doesn't turn out to be a great movie.
But there has been, so Trolls World Tour was kind of the guinea pig in all this, and they made a lot of money, made $100 million, but they're saying that you lose that because there's a lot of movies that don't make it in the box office, but yet become like cult movies when you release it on home video. Scott Pilgrim's a good example of that. It made shit money at the movie theater, but everybody saw when it came out, because everybody either rented it or bought it or stuff like that, and you lose out on that money. Now, Trolls World Tour doesn't have that money to look forward to when it's being released on home video. So I think if you're trying to make the most amount of money, I think you do release it in the movie theaters, and then you release it on home video.
How do we feel about Virgin Veranda?
I like Virgin Veranda. Whitney said Virgin Vestibule.
That's not bad. I like mine better because it was mine.
I like it.
But only a super mega ultra virgin would have a room such as Abel has put together. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, my daughter would beg to differ.
You did that somehow. She was built in a lab.
Was the Immaculate Conception or what?
She was built in a lab. You'll never convince me otherwise. I've seen that room.
This is true. No, I've told Jasmine many times that I'm glad I got married before, like, my full nerd went on display. Because if I was single and I had an apartment and this is one of my rooms, like, dude, like,
you have no shot.
No, it dried up faster than whatever.
You got like grandfathered in somehow to marriage. It's pretty good, Abel. You did a good job.
I did the long con. What do you think, CJ?
I wasn't listening at all. Didn't hear a single word you said.
About New Mutants being released on home video. Or not being released in home video when a lot of people thought it was.
No, it doesn't really bother me. It's not something I'm like super, anxious to see or anything. Actually, I think it'll be kind of cool once this all blows over, how we were just going to be just inundated with nerdy things. I think that'll be kind of a fun time for us, actually. I'm kind of looking forward to it. And the more stuff we put off now, the more stuff we get later. So I'm not too terribly upset about it. I think it's going to be fun. For like weeks and months. It's going to be really awesome, actually.
Wasn't that my hot take that although obviously the virus isn't great, it is going to it's going to revitalize people going to the movies and stuff. So yeah, I think that first big movie, once everything is lifted and people can go, is going to be make a lot of money.
Yeah, that might outdo Endgame, whatever it is.
Yeah. Alrighty, we're past that. Did you guys like Bright, the movie on Netflix?
Never saw it. Even though I'm pretty sure on this show I promised I would see it. I remember listening to that episode and thinking, wow, I never watched it.
Oh, sorry. Here, Whitney has a couple things.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
I'd rather watch it on demand. Can you hear me, Parker?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now.
90% of my watching is on demand anyways. I'm too poor for theaters all the damn time. I think the Rona is going to complete shift the entertainment industries. I was excited for new. No, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear Dustin, I don't think.
I haven't said anything.
Well, say things when I say, can I hear? God damn it. Please don't.
Anyways, Whitney says he fucking loves Bright. So fucking psyched for the new Bright, which is a good segue. They officially announced the Bright 2 with Will Smith and Joel Edgerton coming back. New director, the director from the first one was David Ayer, who also directed
The Last Dance.
Suicide Squad. Huh?
Isn't that the director for The Last Dance?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a different director.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
Look it up. I don't know.
The show horribly.
But anyways, yeah. So the new director is Louis Leterrier. I think he is directing the movie. It's going to come out sometime either late next year or early 2021 or 2022. And Bright, if you haven't seen it, was one of Netflix's biggest hits. I guess it got 60 million views in the first week, which is huge for Netflix because they never released their numbers, which to this day is still the highest, I guess if you want to call it, opening movie for Netflix that they've ever had. It got a lot of bad rap, but I'm with Whitney. I really liked Bright. It was fine. The only issue I had with Bright is that Max Landis wrote it, and Max Landis is a huge piece of shit. He just got Me Too'd not too long ago, so I guess he like beat and choke and stuff his girlfriends and stuff like that. So I'm glad he's off the project. So that's good stuff. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be ironic though if it was like way less good? All because he didn't write it.
Well, to the public, I think I would say most people didn't like it, but I like Bright.
I will watch it this coming week and give you an opinion.
No, you won't.
I'll probably like it. If you like it that much, I'll probably like it. But I've made this promise before on this show and still didn't watch it. So
this is true. Those are all my notes for that. Noteworthy. What do you want to call it? I don't know. Point number 3. They're making San Diego Comic-Con free this year. So instead of the exclusivity that allows me to not go every year, they are going to have like a special Comic-Con that everybody can tune in and do it via Zoom, or they're going to have a live stream or something like that. So I don't know how exclusive it's going to be as far as like, because that's the thing that everybody wants to go to, right? They want to be the first one to see the trailers for the movies and stuff. But they're going to have an online version of the San Diego Comic-Con this year since they canceled it due to the coronavirus. So maybe that's something we can check out. They haven't given a specific date, but I think that's a cool idea. What do you guys think?
I'm for it. Might as well. I mean, in the absence of things, you might as well do something, right? It's a void. You might as well fill it with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Whitney's right. He says, I've done online BlizzCon for years. The setup is nice. A lot of things already do online or kind of a virtual thing. Like I know E3 does a lot of stuff like that. BlizzCon does stuff like that. So I think, honestly, what makes Comic-Con is the exclusivity for it. Because maybe besides the New York Comic-Con, you honestly can go to any other comic book convention as long as you pay for the trip and the food and the stay and the boarding and stuff like that. But Comic-Con is really one of the only ones that like there's a list and stuff like that. So I don't know if they'll do that moving forward because like I mentioned, the exclusivity is what really kind of drives San Diego Comic-Con. But I think for this year, nothing's normal this year. So why not?
Yeah, I agree. I think we probably should. It's probably something we should do as a show.
I think so too.
I think it'll be fun.
Actually, last night I was actually fixing up the Patreon in a way that I think will benefit us in the long run. So maybe we can do some live streams and stuff like that for if we get a large number of Patreon stuff. Because right now we only have, like every other podcast I listen to or YouTuber, like they have tiers and they have cool things. We have one tier and it's like $10 and you'll get a shirt. Like, you know what I mean? To make it exciting and stuff. So whatever. But
Hey, it's a great shirt. Can I just point that out?
it is a great shirt, and it was Mauricio.
That's true.
Whitney
Maybe
says
stop
live.
on the next one.
Whitney says live stream. We get an OnlyFans account. I mean, we all have webcams now, so might as well.
Yeah.
Just start shoving things up Barker's ass.
Now we can film it. Actually,
We were doing that. We were doing that before webcam, like the analog.
Now you don't have to do it for free.
Yeah. Exactly.
Last piece.
Make sure that I'm in 1080p.
You know how if you're good at something, never do it for free. Dustin never heard that before.
He's like, what?
When did this happen? Where was this press release at? I did not get that.
You mean I can't get paid for shoving a bat at my ass?
He's like, yeah. If you would have known years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Barker, you missed out on a fortune, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just some real quick DC news. Titans is the DC Universe show is thinking about a spinoff. Nothing specifically, but that puts rumors kind of to rest if they're wanting to produce more shows that they were going to be eaten up by the HBO Max streaming service because it's all owned by Warner Brothers. So I dig it. I like the DC Universe, man. I've been checking it out a lot more lately, just because of the stuff they have and all that. The movies we've been watching and stuff. So I really dig it, and I think that's good news.
One of the rumors I heard is them doing the spinoffs is because the Titans in season 3, like they're gonna get a lot more people on the team, and so I think they want to try to do like a Titans West and everything.
That's
kinda
cool.
Like breaking them up a little more.
Kind of like what they have in Teen Titans Go. They have the East Coast and the West Coast, and they have that rivalry.
Yeah. You're gonna have to do that after a while. I mean, like when you get 20, 25 heroes, you can't just do one show on all 25 of them. So you're gonna have to break them up and do spinoff, which is awesome. I'm down for that in a heartbeat.
I have to catch up with Titan season 2, man. There's so many other things that I need to watch that just kind of fallen through the cracks. I know CJ hasn't seen it either.
Yeah, I haven't. You're right. I'm sure.
I think you're gonna like season 2.
I enjoyed season 1.
Season 2.
Yeah, thank you, Dustin.
I really appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate your input. Is Barker the official Greg Cody?
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
No, not even.
Let's see. There's a new show premiering on Friday.
You know how Greg Cody Dustin is? He doesn't get the reference and he disagreed with it. That's how Greg Cody he is.
Let's just move this along. Let's just keep going.
I mean, I'm right.
You're right. Okay, a new show's premiering on Friday, Stargirl. I think I'm gonna check that out as it comes out.
What is it?
It's called Stargirl. It's supposed to take place in Earth 2, I think. And I don't know too much about Stargirl except that Luke Wilson is in the show, and so is Joel. Joel, he was in Community. Joe McHale. So they got some pretty big swingers in the show. I'm excited.
That's cool.
That is cool.
New blood, maybe.
Yeah.
A superhero none of us are familiar with. That could actually be pretty refreshing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. Whitney says, don't forget Swamp Thing is officially canceled. Aha. Good thing you said that. Whitney, we're on the same wavelength today because that was my next thing. Is actually the CW bought the rights to show Swamp Thing on TV. So a lot of people are saying that because they basically have everything DC that's been rejected, Constantine, stuff like Supergirl, all that stuff, that they're going to bring in Swamp Thing now. So that's exciting. I've always liked the CW shows. I haven't watched them at all over the last year, but if they bring back Swamp Thing, that's definitely for sure I'm gonna have to check out.
So you'll go out of your way to watch Swamp Thing on CW?
Yes.
Word. I won't. So you tell us how it is, but I hope it.
Well, is it possible that they could keep going with it?
What do you mean?
Well, you know how they cancel.
Yep.
Yeah.
They sure did.
No, I know what you're saying. It happens all the time. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine was on Fox. It got canceled, and then they brought it to NBC.
Or
And
they
then
just showing.
what?
Still rambling. Hold on, Abel. Okay, I think he stopped. Go ahead to say whatever you're saying.
It happens all the time, Parker, that a show gets canceled on one network and it'll show up on another one. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine was canceled on Fox, brought to NBC, and then that shitty Tim Allen show was canceled on ABC, and then brought to Fox because, of course.
I think his question was, are they going to continue like the storyline?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is
also. I said that like 5 minutes ago, CJ.
Well, yeah, I can't hear you.
No one can hear you, you jackass.
You're a jackass.
I heard that, actually. Good job.
I made sure you heard that.
So, yeah. Let's see. Whitney says, shitty hotel internet. And he said he just watched the episode where Futurama jumped from Fox to Comedy Central.
Nice.
And then to sci-fi.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Rumors that Henry Cavill's out of Superman have been greatly exaggerated. He actually he wants to come back. But I guess the thing that's holding him up is he's asking for way too much money. And maybe that's what they replace him. But his agent actually is The Rock's ex-wife, or Dwayne Johnson. And The Rock wants to do a movie against Henry Cavill Superman. So I think that is the piece that's going to give Henry Cavill leverage to stay honest as Superman in the DC universe.
My question is, do you really want that? I mean, I know we all love Henry Cavill, but are you so against the idea of giving a new actor a chance?
I don't know, man. I just don't think Henry Cavill was given the. I don't think he was given enough things to do in those movies. Because he's a good actor, man. If you see all the other stuff he's in, like, he's really good. And I think if somebody does it justice, I want to see a good Superman movie. I mean,
could that be because it's really easy to play Superman? There's not. There's honestly not a whole lot to Superman. Just be a goody two shoes and be ripped.
I don't know, man. Brendan Routh played Superman, and nobody ever remembers that he played Superman. I don't think it's as easy as you think.
Okay, maybe not. But would you say, okay, so the press release tomorrow, this new guy, Superman, are you upset about that?
No, but I really want to see Henry Cavill as Superman again.
Okay. Not bad. Now, I want to see Christian Bale as Batman, so I guess, one hand, Abel.
All right, last piece of news. Boba Fett is officially coming to the season 2 of Mandalorian, which is fucking awesome. And who's going to play him is Tamara Morrison, who played the original Jango Fett, and he was the guy that they cloned all the stormtroopers and stuff out of, or I should say clone troopers. So yeah, that's fucking exciting. I'm a big fan. Actually, I always talk shit on Boba Fett, but I think his design is cool. And if they can make him not a worthless character in the Mandalorian season 2, I think that'd be a good reason to bring him back.
Yeah, I was about to talk shit on you for talking shit on the guy you're suddenly not talking shit about. But that's okay.
I like the clone troopers and stuff, but Boba Fett, I feel like he was in the movie for 30 seconds and he died the bitchiest death of all time.
Are you about to also say that they should bring back Jar Jar Binks? And
no,
you're
Jar Jar
super
Binks
stoked.
sucks.
You're super stoked.
I love episode 1 except for Jar Jar Binks, honestly.
Yeah, that's most people. Dustin has died. He's dead now. We're very sorry to bring this news to the people. He perished in a horrible Zoom accident. Damn it. I was wrong.
Barker, you know what I think it'll help you for this show? If you turn off your camera.
That would help for all shows, actually. You sick bastard. That actually probably would help the internet.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Whitney says Bubba was meant to die like a bitch. That is, and as far as me about the suggestion about the camera, that is true. We'll limit bandwidth use.
Dustin, say something. He's on mute. He's on mute. He put himself on mute. He's not only the show's Greg Cody, he is the world's Greg Cody.
Do you get that reference? Poll question.
Oh, it was Whitney's fault. Oh, Jesus.
Barker, turn off your camera. Barker.
Say
Can you hear
a
me?
thing. Say words from your face. Oh, God.
All right, let's just keep moving on. When he jumps in when he jumps in. I don't want to wait 20 minutes for him. Let's see. Hayden Christensen is rumored to come back as Anakin in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which is another pretty cool fucking thing. Disney Plus is pulling out all this.
Really cool.
Yeah, Disney One is pulling in all the stops, which I appreciate. All right, before we get into our main topic of the week, we do have some Florida news. This is coming from Clearwater, Florida. Demonstrators gathered outside of the Pinellas County Courthouse on Monday by doing squats and push-ups to protest the continued closures of gyms and recreation centers in Florida. Videos show the protesters working out and holding signs such as "Give me gains" or "Give me death" on Monday morning.
Okay, but if they can just do that, why do they need it?
That's why everybody was making fun of him online. If you can squat and do push-ups outside, like, of course you can do that anywhere.
Wow, what a bunch of dicks.
Yeah. Whitney
So
says
they're just trying to be dicks.
Yeah, for sure. It's just because it's Florida, dude. They're the world's contrarian.
Yeah.
Oh, you're telling me I can't have that much meth? Watch me.
Dude, that record's been broken in Florida so many times. It's just
for sure.
It just keeps going up, like exponentially, probably.
The one representative for the Guinness World Book of World Records, the drug department, he just stays in Florida the whole time.
Mauricio just sent me a great thing. It says Florida man gets out of jail, immediately steals car from prison parking lot.
He sent me that too. He sent me a bunch of them.
People in Florida act like life is a GTA game. That's pretty funny. And true.
Florida man stops street fight by running over everyone.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. Yeah. Good job, Mauricio. He has no idea we're recording too. Good job.
Absolutely no idea. That is good timing. Thanks, Mauricio. I'll make sure to use those in future shows. Whitney says he keeps muting himself and I keep fixing it. LOL. Barker, if you can hear me, say something. If you're extremely dumb and you hate yourself, don't say anything. That speaks volumes, Barker. Jeez.
Speaks volumes. Wow. I gotta say, I've always known that. So, yeah. He sucks.
Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Do you love the NWO?
Yeah.
Do you like supporting things you love by giving them an amount of money so small that you wouldn't notice or feel leaving your bank account?
Yeah.
Then you'd be perfect to donate to the NWO cause, which will help us create more content and become a better podcast. Is that something you like to do?
Yeah.
Then visit us on patreon.com/NoRuledOrder and give us a monthly donation to help us out. Or if you want, give us a one-time donation. Please go to our PayPal at NoRuledOrder2@gmail.com.
Yeah?
Yeah, and remember folks, obey the NWO.
Yeah.
All right.
If we should just continue to make fun of you forever, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Here we go. Nice. Okay. I keep telling myself I have to put a timer to see how long we've gone because I don't have the timer anymore because Whitney's recording the show. But yeah, we should keep chugging along. Okay. Yeah. So the main event this week, one of two, is we are continuing our trek, our adventure down the DC animated movie universe with the release of Justice League Apocalypse, which came out digitally this week and physically next week. We thought we'd go through all the DC animated movies in the continuity and kind of review them and watch them and then review them and stuff like that. So this week's movie was Batman vs. Robin. It was directed by Jay Oliva, who has directed 3 out of the 5 movies we've seen thus far. Created, obviously, by DC Comics. And this film is based somewhat loosely on the Court of Fowls story arc that was written by Scott Snyder and drawn by Greg Capullo, which came out in 2012, 2013, something like that, which was part of the New 52. And this is a direct sequel to the 2014 Son of Batman, which we saw last week. The original release date of the movie was April 15th, of 2015. This is the 5th movie in the universe, starring Jason O'Mara, who is a name we're going to get used to because he's done Batman throughout this entire continuity. Stuart Allen is Damian Wayne. Jeremy Sisto as Talon. Sean Mayer as Dick Grayson. Troy Baker as the Court of Fowls Lieutenant. Kevin Conroy, Batman himself, did Thomas Wayne this time around. And did you know, actually, the doll maker at the very beginning was voiced by Weird Al Yankovic?
I did not know that.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't know that till I saw this too.
Dustin, are you back?
I'm back.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. All right, just in time. This movie is middle of the road as far as what it earned on home video sales, about $4 million, which is nothing to sneeze at. But like the highest grossing one was Death of Superman, and I think that did like $10 million or something like that. So kind of a little bit of the lower end on that. So CJ, can you give me a synopsis on what Batman versus Robin was about?
Yeah, we come in and Robin has stolen the Batmobile. And it is in pursuit of a villain known as the Dollmaker, that he meets at a warehouse against Batman's wishes, apparently. And it ends in a confrontation with the Dollmaker, who has apparently been abducting children from Gotham using toys and stuff. And he kind of, the Dollmaker faces off against Robin. And right before, Robin's kind of stuck in this, he used to be an assassin, but Batman's kind of training him not to murder. He says, go for justice, not vengeance. And he's kind of dealing with that when some random guy just comes up and murders the shit out of Dollmaker by literally pulling his heart out of the back. That was pretty badass, actually. Just pulls his heart out. And says, don't fight your instincts, meaning telling Damian, murder people. And Batman arrives on the scene. The assailant has fled, and he thinks that Robin has murdered a guy, and you kind of get a little bit of the friction between the honeymoon's over. Batman and Robin have some kind of button heads a little bit. We get a little further on. We find out that Robin has been sneaking out. He's kind of losing some trust. There's a giant security force with a giant electrified fence designed to keep him in, and he's pretty upset about that. And while this is going on, Bruce, he found an owl feather at the scene of the crime with the Dollmaker. And he is suddenly remembering that some of the circumstances surrounding the death of his parents, there's a kind of a shadowy organization called the Court of Owls that may or may not have played a hand in that. And he goes to investigate, suspecting that.
CJ.
What?
This is a synopsis.
Yeah.
Like short.
Yeah. They go to investigate, or he goes to investigate. Yeah. He goes to investigate, and in the meantime, Robin is out, and he's met by the same strange man who murdered the Dollface. Why do you call him Dollface? Dollmaker guy. And he's kind of given a conundrum because he's having some qualms with Batman. He doesn't necessarily want to do things Batman's way. And this strange assailant, who we now know as Talon, kind of gives them a bit of a conundrum. You can follow Batman and do things against your kind of intuition, or you can follow me and just murder the shit out of people. And as to not risk delving into any spoilers, I'm going to say from here on out that hijinks ensue.
Go fuck yourself if you haven't seen the movie. You son of a bitch.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No, that is definitely something. Barker or when he said, "Who the fuck is giving this synopsis? This is too concise. This isn't CJ."
Yeah.
So worst synopsis you've ever done because you had all the facts, everything right.
Actually, I say that this is one of his better synopses.
Yeah, I felt the bit getting old.
Oh, it's work. Left.
No, just like the
about the actual
enemy
movie.
bit from This Isn't Getting Old, that synopsis bit will never get old.
Okay.
No, it won't. But
All right, so
kind of failed on this.
Well, the fact that I remember this movie might be an indicator as to how I feel about it. I particularly enjoyed this movie.
Same. So a couple things before we get into it. This is a continuation of it's a direct sequel from the 2014 or from Son of Batman, which we watched last week. And then Court of Fowls, probably if you ask good percentage of comic book readers, specifically Batman readers, they'll tell you that is probably a modern classic. So it's cool that they were able to put it somehow in the animated universe as well. So
is it different from the Parliament of Owls?
It's the story arc is broken up into 3 stories. It's Court of Owls, Night of Owls, and I think Parliament of Owls. But I don't know which order. But those are the 3.
I've read the Nightwing run where he takes down the Parliament of Owls. So I didn't know if I'm sure they're probably related.
I think that's a tie-in. Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if they were the same thing, just renamed. No, I wasn't sure. Well, actually, I know one's in Europe. The Parliament is actually in Europe. I do know
that.
That
makes sense. Parliament.
Yeah. So maybe the court is the American version of the same thing.
Okay, so we'll start here. What's something that you guys like just in general? Just spit it all out. What do you guys like about it? Or actually, before we get there, what are you guys' thoughts on the movie?
I really like it. I think it's a really compelling movie, actually. In a lot of different ways. It's pretty cool.
Barker?
I really did like this one. A lot better than the Son of Batman. I feel like this one had a lot more to it than the previous movie. So.
Okay, we'll start with you, Barker. What's one specific thing that caught your eye?
The action sequences, all the fighting, especially that part where he just takes on all those assassins. I think that's probably one of the better animated fights I've seen.
That is the first thing that I put on my notes is those action set pieces were chef's kiss. Particularly, I really like that last fight between Batman and Talon. That was the animation has never been smoother, I don't think, up to this point. It was really flawlessly done. And I feel that this movie had a very good combination of enough exposition with action scenes to where it's not boring or too much action. It was the right amount of action and kind of exposition. So yeah, I'm not gonna hide my cards or bury the lead. I really enjoy this movie. It's probably my favorite up to this point. What about you, CJ? What's something that caught your eye?
I appreciate this movie. It has so many different there's so many different ways you can kind of dissect the conflicts in it. It's got a lot of different levels. No one in this movie is absolutely the good guy, and no one in this movie is absolutely the bad guy. And I think that's cool. I think there's a lot of different layers to all the different relationships, and especially how Damien is just absolutely used as a pawn. That is exactly what would happen if you took this super kid. He just doesn't have you can have all the knowledge, but if you don't have the wisdom to understand really how you can be played against other forces, I guess. That seems to me like exactly what would happen if this was in the real world. He would be used like a pawn, and he wouldn't see it coming because he's a 10-year-old kid. As much as we love him, that's what would happen.
And not only a 10-year-old kid, but like a prick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's a huge fucking prick. And what I put in my notes here,
definitely
yeah.
substantial.
What I put in my notes here, this movie is what happens when an unmovable douche meets an unstoppable prick between Batman and Damian. Because one's a huge douche and one's a huge prick.
Because they're the same fucking person. Like
they are the same person.
They don't want to give. Neither one wants to give an inch at all. Pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I love the voice of Alfred in this. This is the most play that Alfred's gotten in the series so far, and his voice is very Alfred-y, which is pretty fucking cool.
Kind of shows him being a little badass, a little bit. He's fucking runs the shotgun for a while.
Yeah,
cool.
Alfred with the shotty, dude, just fucking blasting motherfuckers. And I like the fact that, it's like this in the comics too, where they always give Batman a way out through writing. And these guys were like zombies, so Batman can like fucking slice their heads off, and Alfred can shoot them and stuff like that. So I totally dig that.
Me too. That's pretty awesome. It is good to see Batman just let loose and not give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
we do like that stuff.
I do also like the fact that Batman cussed in this. He's like, how many times I gotta tell you sons of bitches to get out of my house? I thought that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Anytime Batman cusses. Let's see. I'm also a sucker for any kind of action set pieces that involve Bruce Wayne and not Batman. So whenever they're trapping him in the highway, in the freeway, I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
No, that was really cool. I like that. The first car chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They did a really pretty good job, actually, really. As far as like, I noticed like animation wise, it's hard to do, right? Mm-hmm. And they did it just from like the above, like they made it as easy as possible, but it's still impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Like I said, I think the animation is the best that it's been so far from all the movies.
I think I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Barker, what else stuck out to you in this movie?
What else? Kind of more Damian. Like kind of what CJ was saying is that, he kind of had to kind of figure out himself. Does he go back to being that assassin, that his grandfather and his mom kind of raised him to be? Or does he, turn to the lighter side of good, and become the next Robin?
I do like that vision that Batman had whenever he was in the maze about, possibly unleashing the world's deadliest villain, and it was Damian just as Batman. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I do like and I heard this in an interview with Scott Snyder, who wrote the original, I should say, Court of Fowls story. And he said he couldn't believe that nobody thought of this idea up to this point, that the natural enemy of a bat is an owl. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And they do a lot of imagery like that in the movie. Whenever they kill Thomas and Martha Wayne, you see an owl take off with the bat. You see that kind of sort of thing. So I like that kind of like subtle, messaging and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, a lesser movie is just like Batman and Robin go take down the Court of Fowls. That is this is so much more interesting. There's Batman versus Robin, there's Robin versus Town, there's Batman versus Town, there's both of them versus Court of Fowls, there's Batman versus Self, there's Robin versus Self. There's so many things going on. And they do it flawlessly. I love it. That's the thing that interests me most. How they play so many conflicts at the same time, and they mesh them together so well.
Yeah, it was a good balance of physical and mental. So
that is great writing.
Yeah, and they took the Court of Fowls story, but they switched it enough to make it their own in the animated universe. And I don't think it was a disservice because if you ever want to go back and read the comic book or like the comic arc, I still think there's enough surprises for you to get while you're reading it, and it wasn't completely given away in the movie. And the movie wrote it in a way where it fits perfectly in continuity, and now it makes sense to me as to why they didn't write Tim Drake and Jason Todd into the movies, because it totally makes sense that Damien is trying to follow these footsteps to Dick Grayson, and he doesn't feel the love from his dad, so he's got daddy issues.
Yeah, good point. You also got Dick versus Damien in there, and it's cool.
Let's see. I also have on here, the best villains are the villains who don't think they're villains. The Court of Fowls definitely don't see themselves as villains. They just want to clear up Gotham, but they're so corrupt and shit like that they're part of the problem. I found a new nickname for us. Instead of the Court of Owls, we should be the Court of Fowls. I'm going to go with that. Let's see. Nice. What are maybe some things that you guys didn't like about the movie? And it's a cop-out to say, or it's not, I should say it's not a cop-out to say that there wasn't anything that you could find.
You know what? I did find something. The Batmobile wasn't as cool this time around.
Yeah, I noticed that too, actually. Yeah.
The red was badass. Now there's just like one little streak of red. The red top was dope, and they fucked it up.
Yeah, I prefer the other one. This kind of like we mentioned last time, the '66 Batman kind of sliding glass.
Oh yeah, that was badass.
Yeah. What about you, Barker?
I want to do the cop out that I really didn't find much, but something kind of irks me in this. But it's not that I didn't hate it. I just wanted more behind the Court Owls.
Why?
Like I wanted more of like a history of why they were trying to kind of take over Gotham and everything.
I don't know, man. I'm okay with it. I mean, the movie was only an hour 20 or something like that. So I'm okay. I think the story is more about the story they try to build was more about Batman and Bruce and their relationship than the Court of Owls. But I get what you're saying, but I'm okay with the way it was done.
No, I am too. Like I said, it didn't really irk me, but it's just kind of one of those questions that's in the back of my mind.
Let's see. The only thing I could find that I really didn't like, or kind of I had pushback, was I don't think the voice actor of Talon went with the character design of him very much. I don't know. It just, to me, it didn't fit. And the guy who voiced him, his name was, I wish I would keep my notes organized. Jeremy Sisto, and I'm sure he's a great voice actor, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure he has a plethora of credits to his name. I just don't think he was just the character design. I don't think it fit very much.
That's exactly how I feel about Batman. He's a fine voice actor. It just doesn't fit, and I think I probably agree with you on that. Talon needs more like a gravelly kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think it didn't bother me as much because I was still comparing it to Jason Amaro, and again, nothing against that guy, but.
So that's a good transition to one of my points I was going to talk about.
Do you think what I was going to say is that the voice of Talon did a better job than the voice of Deathstroke from the previous movie. So at least with this guy, you can kind of tell he's kind of more of an evil person.
No, I kind of like Deathstroke. So
I kind of like Deathstroke too.
And I kind of hate you guys.
Well, that goes without saying, duh. But I actually, CJ brought up a good point, and I can transition. I honestly, because I guess I really wasn't paying that much attention before, but I am now. As far as the voice acting that Jason O'Mara did, I thought he did really good in this. Actually, I thought he emoted when he needed to emote. I thought there was different voice changes. I looked at the difference between a Bruce Wayne and a Batman. I thought he knocked that out of the park for sure in this one.
I agree with you. It's a step up. But again, it just comes back to it's an improvement over Son of Batman, certainly. But I just don't think his voice matches. I have the same problem you have with Talon, apparently. I just think it's a miscasting, even though he's probably a great, voice actor. It's not a qualm with the quality of acting necessarily, especially in this movie. It's more a qualm with, I think it's better used somewhere else, or
you're putting a voice to a face. Is basically what you're doing.
yeah, his voice doesn't match his face. For me, I mean, that's how I feel. But.
It's cool. I mean, everybody has their opinion, so yeah.
Like,
But
I thought the voice of Deathstroke last week actually gave him kind of a cool, like gentleman's villain kind of vibe. I kind of like that actually.
I did too. I actually. To you,
What?
That's not Deathstroke to him.
Yeah.
No. I don't know.
Like if anything, like I agree with Abel that Deathstroke should have the dark, gravelly voice and not Talon.
Abel didn't say that. So you agree with something Abel didn't say?
No. But how he said that Talon should have a more gravelly voice. I liked the voice casting on this one. And I think the gravelly voice should have went to Deathstroke.
I don't think his Deathstroke is being gravelly though. I think of him as being kind of like sinister, but like in like a gentlemanly. I thought they did really well, but
I thought so too. Alrighty.
All right.
Another note I made here is how much ass would be kicked if they made a horror movie in this vein, in this style, with like a doll maker or a scarecrow or Arkham Asylum. I just thought that those first 5 or 10 minutes when they were dealing with doll maker were some of the best parts of that fucking movie. And I was like, man, a straight up horror movie with Batman and a character like that would kick so much ass.
That would be really cool. I agree with you.
Those kids were legitimately fucking mangled. Did you see that? Like they had like limbs missing and they had like chainsaws for arms and stuff like that. That was nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty badass actually. That whole sequence.
It's a very unique way to start a Batman movie.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought that this also for some reason reminded me of the Batman and Robin movie from 1997 or whatever, because in that movie Batman and Robin also fight for attention and stuff like that. Granted it's for Poison Ivy, but I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. With is that with Chris what's his fuck?
Chris O'Donnell.
And George Clooney. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What do you guys think of the voice casting for Damien now that we've had him for a couple movies?
It's perfect.
I like it too.
Matches completely. They got it right.
Yeah, I like it.
So, Abel, do you have in your notes how much Batman and company got their fucking ass kicked? Because they absolutely did.
I actually do. I put Nightwing LOL because Nightwing absolutely got murked in this fucking movie, and I'm so glad you brought it up because Nightwing got his ass kicked.
Yeah, so did Damien and so did Bruce. So
not as bad as Damien, or not as bad as Nightwing. Nightwing literally got left stabbed in his shoulders. It just left there to die. I hope he died.
Why do you hope Nightwing died?
I used to love Nightwing, and then I met you.
Well, I still love him. But the dude only died because he fucking killed himself, okay? Talon is clearly the superior combatant of all these dudes. Like, there's no, like, you can't even dispute that.
No, Batman had his number.
No, he did not. He killed him.
Yes, he did.
Talon killed
he
himself.
Did. No.
Yeah, Batman was kicking his ass until he got stabbed.
Yeah, because he went out like. Nah, you need to rewatch the movie, sir.
You need to rewatch that.
I've seen it.
And then Batman was kicking Damien's ass too, and the only reason that he got out of it, Damien got out of it, was because Batman took the brunt of the fall when they fell on that statue.
Well, don't do that. You'd lose fights. I don't know what to tell you.
That's his son. He did it on purpose. You gonna throw your kin?
That's the only. Damien whooped Nightwing's ass a little bit, and then Batman's
a little bit twice.
But I think you could make the argument that both Dick and Bruce were probably holding back a little bit. But either way, you can't let him win, and he won. And then Talon kicked his ass. Talon ran through these dudes like butter, dude. I'm telling, like, they were clearly outmatched, and they got saved simply through Talon murdering himself. That's
Nah.
absolute. That's stone cold fact.
Not true. Fake news. Okay, fake news.
It's real. I'm right.
Batman's the best. Everybody says.
This
So.
is the first time they've ever been outmatched, and they totally were. And they got lucky.
Did he just stab himself in the throat?
Yes.
All right.
Luck.
So now we're gonna rate this. Barker, we'll start with you. What are you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna rate this kitty's titties.
CJ?
I am also gonna go. Nah, I can't do it. I can't. I gotta go titties. But it's great. It's like high titties.
I am gonna go kitty's titties. For sure. And we're huh?
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm reserving the honor of kitty's titties, but
you do you, boo. If you don't feel it's kitty's titties, don't make it kitty's titties.
No, you know what? It is though. It is. Yeah, it is.
All right, so we'll start with you then, CJ. Where are you ranking these in the 5 that we've seen so far?
I think it's the second best. I got War, Batman vs. Robin, Son of Batman, Son of Atlantis, Flashpoint.
Barker?
This overtakes War for me at the top. So this one, War, Son of Batman, Paradox, and then Throne of Atlantis.
Me and Barker had the exact same list because mine is Batman vs. Robin, Justice League War, Son of Batman, Flashpoint, and Throne of Atlantis.
Because smart people
hard to
like
War for me, I think. I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
It is.
Alrighty, and we'll do one little kind of short segment here, which I thought would be fun for everybody to talk about, because we are living in the middle of an apocalypse right now, with everybody either dying or having to stay at home. If not, the boogeyman's going to catch us. I thought it'd be a cool. And in my notes here I have the apocalypse isn't as sexy as I thought it would be, because everybody always fantasizes and romanticizes the zombies or the aliens coming down and taking us. It turns out that it's a breathing problem that's going to take us all, so that sucks. But
all because
it's
somebody
whatever.
wanted a soup from an animal.
Yeah, exactly. Bat-head soup. So I thought it'd be a cool time to rank our top 5 apocalyptic movies of all time. Now, it's a very, 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 very vague definition, and I got these from the Webster's Dictionary online. The complete final destruction of the world, as described in the biblical book of Revelation, or an event involving destruction or damage on an awesome or catastrophic scale. So those are the definitions of what people would consider an apocalypse. So
Okay, good.
I told the guys to get some honorable mentions and to rank their top 5. So Whitney, since you just logged back or joined us, really.
I took my chariot from the skies themselves.
Yes. What are some of your honorable mentions?
So not doing my top 5, just doing the honorable mentions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The honorable mentions I'm going to put in there. One is honestly Waterworld, because I really liked that movie back in the day. I Am Legend I'm putting in there.
Yeah.
It just didn't make the final thing. There's also one where I really liked. It's not a full movie though. It's the Screw Fly Solution, which is actually from the Masters of Horror collection. So it's only an hour long, but it is a really interesting look at an apocalypse created by aliens by basically having them do to us what we did to an insect population, which was spray a thing that caused a pheromone mix-up. What they did with screw flies in South America was they sprayed this pesticide, and the pesticide, when it interacted with a male who went into a sex drive, instead of activating his sex drive, it's activated his violence drive, and they killed all the females.
That sounds
It's
interesting.
a fucked up little thing, but those are my honorable mentions. I also had a few others, but for time's sake, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
CJ, what are some of your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions, I have 3 of them. Number 1 is the Flintstones, which I think
Going with that internet theory.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to the Jurassic Park movies. What would happen if
that should have been on one of the internet conspiracy theory things too.
My second is Osmosis Jones, which is a great movie. Their world is almost destroyed.
This is the term broad. This is broad.
It's almost an apocalypse for them. That's all I'm saying. And my third actually would be number 1 on my actual list, if not for the disqualifier that it's a documentary, Planet Earth. Number 1 apocalypse movie.
Yeah, okay. You're right.
All I gotta say is I did conservation education. I completely concur with that statement.
Oh, man. Yeah. Do we have a rim shot button somewhere for that?
I can add one.
Slam dunk.
It's true.
That was a home run right there.
I had a hot take that actually the apocalypse has already happened. But because of the end of the world of dinosaurs, we're the post-apocalyptic monsters.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Bart, what are some of your honorable mentions?
My 2, like I said, I kind of kept broad too. So one of my honorable mentions, which I wish I could put into the top 5 because it's a classic one, is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice.
And then my other one, you can't spell apocalypse without this. It's Idiocracy.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I forgot about
nice
that
call.
movie. Yeah.
Nice call.
Dustin, those are 2 fantastic honorable mentions.
And
you knocked that out.
one somehow turned into a prophecy. So
All I know is it has electrolytes.
Electrolytes are what you need.
Well done,
And
sir.
that was more of a documentary too, Barker. So I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. I have quite a bit of honorable mentions because I love this type of movie. So I'm just gonna run by them real quick. Zombieland, Dogma, Blast from the Past, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Mad Max Fury Road, Escape from New York, The Matrix, Interstellar, 12 Monkeys, Whitney already mentioned I Am Legend, The Mist, A Quiet Place, and WALL-E. Those are all movies that I really enjoyed. No, those are my honorable mentions. We're doing our top 5 right now. It made it. Spoiler alert. Justin, we haven't got through our top 5.
Jasmine causing spoilers.
It's actually my number 5.
Abel's actually been through 2 of mine on my list now, Dick. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
Abel's done like 3 on mine.
Thanks, Dick.
That's okay. So I guess I'll start because I'm getting Shaun of the Dead shamed over here. But my number 5 is Shaun of the Dead. I absolutely love this movie. This is the first time I saw a zombie movie that openly obviously made me laugh, and it did so much for the genre of horror comedy, because without Shaun of the Dead, we don't get Zombieland, we don't get movies like that. So and it's the start of the Cornetto trilogy. Just everybody in that movie ended up being like a bigger star and stuff. So yeah, just Shaun of the Dead, it's fucking hilarious, and that's my number 5.
I love that movie because it shows that there can be like life after zombies.
Yeah,
like it's kind of cool. That's a cool concept. They become like reality TV stars and shit like that. Like that's cool.
It becomes normalized once everybody gets used to it. Just like the
Rona.
Rona.
Cool.
Just like the Rona. Give it a year or 2.
All right, who wants to go next?
I can go.
Either way, go ahead.
I was just gonna say The Road. I thought that one was a good
I've heard of that movie. I've never seen it, but I heard a lot of good stuff.
I'll give one part away. They never actually say what the apocalypse is. Just it happened, which I kind of like that. It's kind of like the horror movie that never shows the monster, kind of effect. It's like just something's bad. It's really just more like the introspection of how humanity would be if shit went south.
Right.
And it shows both the good and the bad sides of it. So it's a really good movie.
Alrighty.
I've read the book. It's deeply disturbing, but
the movie's disturbing as shit too. Yes.
All right, CJ, you want to go?
Yeah, my number 5 is Dogma. I love that movie. It's an incredible movie. I think we've actually went on about this on this show, but that is my number 5. It's probably one of the funniest movies. Probably my favorite Kevin Smith movie.
Oh, it's by far my favorite Kevin Smith movie for sure. I love Dogma.
Yeah. So I don't need to go on, but yeah, Dogma.
All right, Barker.
My number 5 is This Is the End.
Also an excellent movie.
It is an excellent movie.
Just an all-star cast, and I don't think for like a movie that's supposed to be about the apocalypse, I've never laughed like so hard at a movie like that. It's just
when Jonah Hill gets raped in the ass by the devil. That's funny.
Bravissimo.
Well, the best part of that movie is Michael Cera in the first 10 minutes. He's just like
Michael Cera's a huge asshole. Yeah.
That is so funny. Whoever wrote that, I don't know, Seth wrote. I don't know. Judd Apatow.
I think it was Seth. Yeah, I think it was all those guys. Yeah.
Well, that's so funny to make Michael Cera this huge douchebag. That's genius.
Alrighty. Since we started with me, Whitney, you are first on number 4. What's your number 4?
Zombieland.
Zombieland. Yep, love that movie.
It is one of the best zombie movies out there. It's got the comedy going on. It's got I don't know. It's just really good.
It's got Bill Murray.
It's the class. Yeah, the whole cast is fantastic.
If you don't have Bill Murray, are you even a movie?
Right.
All right. Let me see. CJ, you're up.
My number 4 is probably it's the most traditional apocalypse movie I probably have. That's Deep Impact. I really like that movie.
I had
Deep
that in my
Impact.
honorable mention. It was I almost put it up there. It's good.
That's a badass movie for a lot of reasons, but mostly I like how they kind of delve more into the science of it than most movies would like that. Like it starts with an astronomy class. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's one of the most accurate, I think, of all the it's not like what was the other asteroid movie that came around the same time? Oh, Armageddon.
Armageddon,
which was the most inaccurate of all time.
Yeah, that's kind of how I think of it. It's like Armageddon, but made science.
Honestly, I almost put it on, and I thought nobody was going to pick it though. But I'm very happy it made it onto the.
Deep Impact. It's an awesome movie.
And Morgan Freeman's the president in that, isn't he?
Yeah, and I remember when that movie came out, it was not popular. I think it was because Armageddon came out at the same time, and everyone was like, big explosions, craziness, versus, hey, this is how it would happen, and this is just kind of people reacting to it.
And it's funny that CJ picked the non-Michael Bay movie over the Michael Bay movie.
Okay, I was going to say it, but somebody else beat me to it. Thank you.
Guys, I defended him once. I'm not like
no, there's 2 or 3 episodes you're defending him.
No, I'm not like a Michael Bay enthusiast. I just don't think he's as bad as people say.
Oh my gosh, great one. Yes. You want on camera? No, you need to go potty, but you have to wait.
All right. Barker, what is your number 4?
So my number 4, I might get flack for this, but it's going to be, my number 4 is Resident Evil Retribution.
No, I love the Resident Evil movies. Yes.
Alfred, get my flack. He needs it.
I feel like
Flack.
I know everybody liked the first one, but I felt like Retribution had a lot more story behind it.
No, it did. Oh, he's gone.
I feel like they did with it. So.
Oh, hi, Dustin.
I'll be honest with you. The only Resident Evil movie I've ever seen is the first one.
Yeah, me too.
And the first one's not bad, but I feel like Retribution's the best one out of all of them.
I agree with I don't disagree with you, Dustin. I think you're.
Aren't they supposed to reboot those here soon?
They were all terrible. after the first one.
Sure.
I like the first one, but after that, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah, you did the same as me. You assumed they were all terrible after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
All right. My number 4 is a movie that holds a very special place in my heart that I've watched as a kid and I absolutely fucking love. I've recently read a comic book over them, and it is Mars Attacks.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
Become in peace. Become in peace.
Just the people that were in that movie. You have Pierce Brosnan, you have Jack Black, you have Sarah Michelle Parker, you have
If you list
Natalie
everybody in that movie,
Portman.
we'll take up the rest of the show.
Jack
as
Nicholson.
the president.
You have that movie's just amazing. I mean, Jasmine loves that movie too.
Hi.
Yeah, the old lady from
my God.
Beetlejuice. She's the
Oh my
one that
God.
plays that old 50s. The old 50s song. So yeah, Mars Attacks fucking awesome. Are you gonna go get Izzy?
You got Wayne Newton.
Oh, Wade Newton, absolutely.
Newton's in
Jim
there,
Brown, Danny DeVito, absolutely.
Dude,
that movie.
Yeah.
That movie is nothing but a list of just like, all right,
Huh?
we're just gonna name everybody.
Yeah, that movie. I love that movie. It's fucking awesome. What?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Oh, Pam Grier.
Hey,
Pam
Abel,
Grier's in the movie too.
you suck.
Does Jasmine just want to
Hey.
join the show?
Abel, if you're a huge douchebag,
I don't know.
don't respond to this. Hey, Abel, if we can keep making fun
Ray
of you
J?
forever, just don't say
Oh,
anything.
Ray J is in that movie. Ray J is in that movie.
Yeah. As I
Who?
said, you could literally take up the entire rest of the show just by
Yeah.
naming a list of all the people in that fucking movie.
Ray J's one of the kids in that movie. Jasmine was on point with that. All right. Okay, we're gonna start with the number 3. CJ, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is, I don't know if it's the most likely, but it's certainly like, oh, by the way, this is kind of where I start to get to where I love all the movies I've said, but it's getting to where they hold special places in my heart at this point.
Okay.
The Thing is my number 3.
Oh.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely, it's an apocalypse movie. Everyone dies.
Dude, it's I literally had it on the list, but I'm like, I don't know if the guys will buy that, but I'm glad you put it on there actually.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I
Everyone dies in The Thing.
Well, everybody dies, but it's still
I mean,
stuck up
everyone,
in-
as in everyone on planet Earth, dies in The Thing. Eventually.
I guess, yeah. That's
No, I'm right. The Thing, on top of being a great movie that I love, totally ends in our destruction. So, yeah.
All right. Barker, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually one that you guys have actually already said. And this one, I really liked it. It got me into kind of apocalypse movies. I wasn't really a big fan of them before this one, but I Am Legend.
yeah.
Just
I-
a great one by Will Smith. I mean, hit it out of the park with it.
That is a really
I
good
do-
The
movie.
book is
I
a
do
very
like I Am
quick
Legend.
read, by the way. It's not that long.
Yeah, it's more of a novella, right, than an
Yeah.
actual novel.
Yeah.
But you also have to watch the director's ending too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I
a
really
completely different ending.
Part of
He
me
makes
is
it
like,
out,
right,
both of
right?
them were good.
He makes it out. In
So,
the
like,
director's ending, he
the-
makes it out, right?
Yeah, but the Dark Seeker makes this butterfly, the tattoo of his I think it was his daughter or his wife, and so then he lets the females that he's been experimenting on away, and so he doesn't try to attack him, he just kind of leaves. It kind of shows.
Right, which kind of goes in with the novels, because the novel idea is basically the novel kind of goes in the idea that he is it turns out he's the monster. Like humanity just evolved into these vampire zombie things, and he's been killing them.
And we're the monsters all along. All right.
Yes.
My number 3 is This Is the End. We've already talked about it. Absolutely love that movie. I don't remember the last movie that I openly laughed that hard in a movie theater. Channing Tatum's in the movie. He makes a small cameo. Just the idea that that all these famous movie stars played like themselves, but like turned up to 11 was fucking funny to me. And yeah, just I know we've already talked about it, but that's my number 3.
That might be the best cameo in the history of cameos.
Like the best, like
yeah.
Danny McBride.
My favorite,
Danny
actually,
McBride being a big dick the whole time in that movie.
I think my favorite part about that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, but I was going to say probably my favorite part in that entire movie is a 2-second scene where Danny McBride pisses on the toilet seat, and instead of wiping it down, he just like rubs it down with his boot. And I thought that shit was fucking funny. I don't know why, but I couldn't stop laughing.
That is funny.
It's a great movie.
Whitney, you're the last one for your number 3. What's your number 3?
The Prophecy.
Okay.
From 95.
Is that a Stephen King movie?
No, that one had Christopher Walken as the angel Gabriel. It was fucking phenomenal. Yeah, I kind of actually I noticed that I ended up picking a lot of like the different genres of apocalypse, like the religious. This one would be the religious one. I got the zombie one. I got the just standard like whatever. But the Prophecy is just one of those, like the apocalypse is happening, but it's got a twist because basically it's like almost like a second revolution of angels in heaven is kind of happening.
Oh yeah, no, I remember seeing those movies when I would go to Dylan's to go rent movies. That was always there. Yeah, I remember that movie.
The second and third ones are obviously kind of like the cheesier ones because they kind of just did it because the first one was so good. But the first one is just phenomenal because Gabriel's hunting them down to start his own hell on earth kind of thing. And yeah, it's Christopher Walken. I mean, he's a fucking angel. He's Gabriel, the angel of death.
That's fucking
going around
dope.
fucking people up.
That's awesome.
Ah, man, I just remembered of a movie and I fucked up my list. That's fine. Let's see. And you were talking about the different kinds of.
Were you thinking of Legion?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
No. But I kind of actually wrote that down too. I kind of have a little bit of everything too. I have zombie movies, alien movies. This is the end. It's kind of like the biblical ending of the world. So yeah, I have a little bit of everything. So, okay, we're at our number 2. Barker, what is your number 2 movie?
My number 2 is Zombieland.
Nice.
You can't go wrong with that. I mean,
no, Zombieland had to be up there.
It is a great movie.
I am psyched for the next one coming out. Or is it out? I can't remember.
It's out already.
Yeah. Okay, I need to see it.
Let's see. My number 2 is, you know what?
If only you'd had a week to prepare, Abel.
Right?
Actually, he had longer because he came up with this idea.
Well, no. Because I have the movie at 2, but the movie I just remembered about, I really enjoy. You know what? I'm going to do it. Executive decision. I'm replacing my number 2 with the new number 2, and I'm absolutely okay with that. My number 2 is Constantine. I absolutely fucking love that movie with Keanu Reeves. That's kind of a more biblical end of the world kind of sense.
That basically has a very similar plot to Prophecy.
Really? Yeah, nice. Well, then I'll probably like Prophecy.
Fucking shit up.
Yeah, so, and then Tilda Swinton is Gabriel, the angel of death. And yeah, I really like that movie. I really like the character of Constantine. Honestly, the people's beef with that movie is that Keanu Reeves isn't your typical Constantine, but for what that movie is, he's great in that movie. That movie is the forces of evil versus the forces of good. You get to see the devil in it. It's just, I love that movie a lot. So yeah, I'm glad I remembered about it before I got to my number 1. So yeah, my number 2 is Constantine.
What was, out of curiosity, what turned into an honorable mention?
Save your original number 2 to the end. If no one says it, say it.
Oh,
okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Whitney, you're number 2.
This one's probably going to be an unpopular one. Reign of Fire.
Is that the one with the dragons?
Yeah, it's basically just an apocalypse movie, and a lot of people didn't like it because there weren't enough dragons because they did a whole lot of, post-apocalypse human introspection, how people react when they're stuck hiding from dragons all the time. Plus, it has fucking dragons. And then one guy dies like a bitch. He tries to do this badass move, and the dragon's just like, jump. Axe to the face. When you've been launching missiles at the fucker, and it still can't, not doing shit.
Christian Bale's in that, right?
Christian Bale and, Christian Bale and, oh, God, who's the guy? He was in Sahara and,
McConaughey?
What?
McConaughey?
Yeah, McConaughey. McConaughey and Bale together in that one.
Nice. CJ, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Interstellar. I absolutely adore that movie. It's the water waves planet scene alone is better than most movies.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
I could go on for days, but I'll just end it to say that outside of the Batman trilogy, that's Christopher Nolan's probably my favorite director, and that is his best movie. So
you definitely picked the most divisive movie for sure, but no, absolutely, it's I love that movie. Interstellar's great.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna hate my number 1, but that's okay.
Let's see. Okay, we are now going to number 1, and we are coming back full circle to me. My number 1 is 28 Days Later. I absolutely love that fucking movie. And it's not only my favorite apocalyptic movie, it's my favorite zombie movie. It's the sequel isn't as good. It's still good, but I think 28 Days Later, directed by Danny Boyle, it's just fantastic. It's a great zombie movie on a small budget. And yeah, it's fantastic. And it's the first time I ever saw like running zombies, because everything before that was just like, the slow moving zombies.
It's the not zombie movie, because technically,
exactly.
They're not undead. They're just fucking crazy because of a thing in their head. That's the first movie too, where it's like, well, technically, a zombie could be caused by some virus infecting your brain and killing whatever. So it's scientific. It's just fantastic. And if of course it happens, it's going to happen that way. So yeah, just 28 Days Later is my number 1. All right, Whitney, what's your number 1? The Girl with all the Gifts, which if you haven't seen that, it is phenomenal.
I haven't seen
which actually I think it's funny because you talked about like an infection that or whatever, the spores or whatever, because that's basically the movie is humanity is getting infected with spores from a fungus. Or actually, well, I guess for a long time they don't know 100%. They kind of have an idea, but they don't know where it's coming from. And I love it because it kind of ties in with a lot of biology that actually is happening in the world. And basically the funguses are actually just changing the human behavior completely, which does happen to us. That's why we like cats, because toxoplasmosis is a fungus that lives in our blood that makes its host like and want to go to cats. Because it's supposed to be in rats, and then it wants the rat to get eaten by the cat for its next phase of life, and then it goes back and forth. But something similar to that, I can't explain too much because there's a huge plot twist in the movie, but I definitely suggest it. It's kind of zombie-ish because the people that are infected want to eat raw meat and are somewhat psychotic and can do a few weird things, but I suggest it. It basically just follows this little girl, and you feel really bonded to her throughout the whole movie. I can't explain more than that without giving away shit.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. CJ, what is your number 1?
Okay, I fully acknowledge that I'm playing fast and loose with the definition of apocalypse. Fair enough, but I'm also willing to defend this to the death.
Before you say that, I bet you your number 1 was my number 2.
I doubt it.
Okay.
I very highly doubt it. My number 1 is Avatar.
Oh, what?
I like it. It is technically because the Earth is shit. Yeah,
when their tree fell, I felt that shit in my soul. Okay, like it might have been the weed, but it was also the movie. That's like the destruction of their home. It is awful. I cried, fucking cried. That also, horrible apocalypse.
on top of that, CJ, technically, even with it's their apocalypse, but also it's a future of Earth where we fucked our own planet up enough that we have to go to their planet to fix our own planet.
Hey, works for me.
So it's like a doubly kind of idea. So
Yeah,
like, spreading the apocalypse intergalactically.
I don't disagree that it's that it's not an apocalyptic movie, but yeah, I guess it kind of came out of nowhere. But then I remember you're an Avatar stan, so
if I would have thought of that, I would put it. I loved when I went to Disney and was in that Avatar world in their living.
Oh yeah, I remember you like Avatar too.
Yeah. Oh, I got a ride on one of. They have this VR thing where you ride one of their fucking those banshees that they have. In fact, actually, somewhere up here, if you look up there, that's a banshee floating from my ceiling.
Oh yeah.
And then all the rest of the Avatar figures are over there.
What is all right, Barker?
Good call.
Your last and definitely least. What is your number one?
I really wanted to fight CJ. Whenever CJ says he wants to fight to the death, I always am down. Like, but you swayed me, CJ. So you really swayed me that I can't fight you to the death on that one. Okay.
I mean, you're more than welcome.
I'll still fight you, but I wanted to fight you about the movie, but no, you clap to you, good sir.
Thank you.
With that being said, my number one, we talked about this movie again. I'm so glad that this movie will mention in your top 5 because it is one time, and it's Dogma.
Nice.
Just Kevin Smith can do no wrong. You've got Chris Rock, you've got George Carlin, you've got Jay and Silent Bob, you've got Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. You can go on and on and on. God, Morissette. So wrong with
a friend of mine.
Movie a million times and still be
a friend of mine back when that movie came out. He hated Alanis Morissette, but he loved the fact that her voice killed people.
Yeah. And I fucking love the fact that God is Alanis Morissette. Like that. Yeah. That to me is fucking awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, no, so that's. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
I just love the and just how you can kind of laugh, but at the same time, it kind of makes you think. The Metatron with Alan.
And I was gonna say, and they were actually very like Christian mythology accurate with that movie. It was ridiculous.
Samurai sword.
Samurai
so
sword.
Yeah, those were all good lists. I'm glad we got to do it. There was a variation in movies, so I appreciated it very much. So yeah, that was fun. I'm trying to keep this shorter than usual. So so in the comments, let us know what some of your favorite apocalyptic movies are, and that'll be the question of the show. Alrighty, guys, we are getting the fuck out of here. Next week, we are going to do the 10-year review of Scott Pilgrim, Edgar Wright movies, and then Batman Bad Blood. What are some recommendations that you guys are reading, watching, listening to that you want to tell our student athletes about?
I watched a movie that I've been trying to watch for a very long time, but it's on the HBO app. I didn't know that. I know now, but I watched The Town finally.
That's a good movie.
That was a really good movie. Ben Affleck is really good in it. Jeremy Renner is really good in it, but John Hamm is fucking great in it. Go watch that movie just for John Hamm, even while everything around it is great. Is also very good. That movie is excellent, and he is excellent in it. And go watch it.
Nice. Barker or Whitney?
I honestly haven't been watching too much new things because I'm still on that Brooklyn Nine-Nine kick because there's so many fucking seasons. Jesus. But that's it.
Okay.
And
Barker?
that one with Shadow, What We Do in Shadows, the Mark Hamill one. I need to watch that episode.
So my recommendation, I've kind of been saying it along with Harley Quinn, but it's The Last Dance. We've got the last 2 episodes coming this Sunday. Just watching. Wow, this documentary should be so many awards for everything. Just talking about the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, basically how they got to their 6 championships and all the struggles and trials and tribulations and everything that happened to that team and to all those players and the city itself. It's, my God, if you have not watched it, please do. It is amazing. The Last Dance.
I haven't seen it because I'm not gonna give it my rating, so I'm gonna wait later till everybody shuts the fuck up about it and I can watch it on my own time.
Well, they
let's
won't.
see. My recommendation is 28 Days Later, just because I'm gonna watch the movie again because I forgot that movie's fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna read this really fast.
What was your original number 2?
Infinity War.
Nice. Okay. Very good.
Because that's definitely an apocalyptic movie.
And it showed when I looked up on Google, apocalyptic movie, it did show up.
Yeah.
I kind of I could have gone that route, but I kind of wanted to stay away from. I wanted to introduce new things, I guess, kind of. But
yeah,
I agree with you. It's obviously amazing.
Yes. I'm going to read this super uber fast because I got to take a poop. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You can find us personally on Facebook or Twitter.
I'm at CJMFA.
At Barker375.
At ZELBUBUTH on Twitter and pretty much every other streaming thing. Also, I'm going to be on Growing Garden City this Sunday. People watch.
Oh, nice. So yeah.
That shows.
Nice. I like that. I like that show. I follow him on Facebook.
Shout out this.
Nice. Show. You can find the show specifically on Spotify, Google Play, Libsyn, iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcast. We have a merch sale right now, TeePublic, between the 12th and the 15th. You can get a shirt 35% off. So CJ, you should go get your shirt. We have the NWO playlist. Head to YouTube to watch a videoized show of the podcast. Remember that we have show notes. I always promise this, but I am actually in the middle of revamping our Patreon, so it can be more worth your guys' time. So I'll probably finish that sometime this week. If you want to do a one-time donation, because I get it, not everybody wants to donate all the time, particularly around the time we're going through right now. So if you want to do a one-time donation, all the money goes towards the helping of the show, making us better, and that's at nerdworldorder2@gmail.com. We really appreciate that. Thanks for everybody for listening, commenting. Thanks to these guys for taking time out of their day to record in the middle of a weekday. So I think if that's it, anything else, guys?
What level makes somebody the CJ Abel sandwich in a spoon situation?
If somebody's willing to donate, I'll put that on there. If somebody's willing to donate $1,000, there'll be a sandwich.
I'm down for that. All right. Spoon, though.
Okay, that's fine, because that's the funny part.
Right.
All right, guys. Don't forget, obey the NWO.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye. Bye. Oh, I gotta poop.
Is Abel better than a 10-year-old poll question? Whatever I forgot.